Hello and welcome to this screencast, which is going to be about how you get the attention of a Norwegian. Exactly how do we open up a conversation, like almost before the conversation has begun. What are the little things that you can say and do just to kind of get it started? And what we're talking about is vocabulary, few simple kind of words and even sounds that will kind of focus your listener on you. How do you pronounce those? A little bit will be revealed about the Norwegian culture and cultural habits, and you'll learn to talk to people that you know and people you don't know. Så vi skal snakke om vokabularet, uttalen, væremåten, og du skal kunne snakke med folk du kjenner, og folk du ikke kjenner, de som er helt ukjente. Så hvordan sier du, how do you say, excuse me, do you have a minute? Du sier, unnskyld, excuse me. We pronounce it unnskyld, not unnskyld like we write it, but unnskyld. The other word is du, you. Many people think it's kind of strange and direct to start a conversation by saying you. But that's what we do. And there's a couple of different melodies, a couple of different inflections you can have on you, just depending on the situation. And here are the three most common. Du. Just sort of opening it up. Du. Almost like a question, but not quite. Du. You do want to ask a question. You go, du. 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 And if you know the person really well that you want to speak with and you're maybe a little angry with them or want them to stop doing something, you'll say du. Or just if you're excited about it, du. So du, du, and du. And I should say that this is the Oslo Eastern Norwegian way of speaking. The melody will be a little different if you live in Stavanger or Bergen or Northern Norway. And then we put them together. Du, unnskyld. Du, unnskyld. Du, unnskyld. Yeah? Just add the two together and you get a perfect opener. The faster you speak, the more rushed you will seem. Du, unnskyld. Or the slower. Du, unnskyld. You'll seem a little hesitant or a little authoritarian, like you're in control. How polite do you want to be? There are three words for you that I can imagine using myself. De is the old polite term that we almost have stopped using in Norwegian. Du is the informal way that now everybody uses, even famous politicians or whatever. The only time you would use de would be to speak with royalty, maybe, or if you want to impress or be really nice to some very old, nice, maybe well-to-do people, you would say de. And it's interesting that in the English language they have moved completely the other way. Back in Shakespeare's days there were two words for you. There was you and thou. Yeah, and thou is du and you is de. So you was a polite way, and now everybody in England or everybody in the world who speaks the English language walk around and are super polite to each other by saying you. Whereas in Norway we moved to thou, the more intimate, informal. And the third one you don't really need to use. It's kind of more of a sort of street language dialect thing from where I come from, and we would say da. And it's It's sort of an acquired taste. You can say hallo der. Hello there. Hei du. Hi. Like using that little is actually not a bad way to express something, whatever it is. Your voice is there and people will start to pay attention to you. And here are some other ones. We'll just run them down real quick. Har du et øyeblikk? Do you have a moment? Kan jeg få låne deg et par minutter? Can I borrow you for a few minutes? Kan jeg låne deg et par minutter? Do you have time for a short moment? Har du tid et lite øyeblikk? Forstyrrer jeg? Am I disturbing you? Kan jeg få forstyrre deg litt? May I disturb you a little? Det ok om jeg forstyrrer deg litt? Is it okay if I disturb you a little? Is it okay? Det ok om jeg forstyrrer deg litt? If I disturb you a little? Kan jeg få, eller får jeg forstyrre? Kan jeg få snakke litt med deg? Får jeg snakke litt med deg? And so, in asking for permission, which is what we do a lot of the time, if we're interrupting something or asking if that's okay, we, of course, will adopt a polite attitude. Sometimes we use a little bit of cheeky humor. We always show respect or empathy for a busy person. And always, of course, we try to see the other person's point of view, even if they are a Norwegian. The last thing we're going to talk about is how we can use time to be polite when we are addressing people. So we can move the kan, får jeg komme inn, into the past tense. Kunne jeg få komme inn? It's actually more of a subjunctive, which some of you have in your language. Kunne jeg få komme inn? So it sounds more polite than kan jeg få komme inn. Here's some other ones. Jeg skulle gjerne ha spurt deg om noe. I would really have liked to, it should say here. I would really have liked to ask you something, or I would really like to ask you something. Jeg skulle gjerne ha spurt deg om noe. It's almost mysterious, so it might awaken a little bit of curiosity. And then this word gjerne. People forget to use it. Don't forget, use it. Jeg vil gjerne. Jeg ville gjerne. And if you're going to be ultra careful, then you could say things like, jeg skulle gjerne ville. But that's almost the joke. So, jeg vil gjerne, jeg ville gjerne. Det mulig å? Eller var det mulig å? Ville det være mulig å? So, the first thing, the first commandment is relax. And make some noise, like, du. Unnskyld. Clear your throat, whatever you need to do, and then express yourself. Use your facial expression, use your body expression, and enjoy the conversation. Det var det. Har du noen spørsmål, så kontakt oss. Kom og snakk med oss på lingu.no. Ha en fin dag.